Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things. Today's a review video, so it's Fred Reviews Things. This is part 2 of my September Sewers Club series. Part 1 was the unboxing of the Sewers Club project, and today I'm going to be talking about the project itself, giving you a bit of a review on it. I'm going to break this video up, I think, into 4 parts. We'll talk about what came in the box, like a mini rundown, so that you know, if you didn't see the last video and you don't want to watch it, you can just get up to speed. Part 2 is going to be the making of the project. Part 3 is going to be my pros, cons, and user error. Actually, it's going to be 5 parts. Part 4 is going to be a quick discussion on the bonus or the alternative pattern that came in this box. And then part 5 is going to be my final thoughts and wrap up. Yeah, so I was supposed to get this video up on Wednesday, but I didn't have the time. I couldn't do it. I didn't think I had the time and couldn't do it, and instead ended up uploading an 18-minute house update, which actually took longer to edit than this video would have. So that's some great time management on my part. Anyway, I'll give you the quick rundown on what Sewers Club is. Sewers Club is a monthly subscription box. You can sign up for 3 different, or a few different subscription plans, right? One is monthly, the other one is auto renew every 3 months, which saves you a couple of dollars per box. And then it goes on from there. All that information for you is up on the screen. I have the 6-month subscription, but yeah, if I had the money to buy a year's subscription at once, I probably would do so. And then for an additional $9.99, you also get a Notion add-on. Because I don't sew, or because I'm fairly new to sewing, I should say. I get the Notions because they're usually pretty fun and I enjoy having them. Yeah, so with all that out of the way, let's get into the project, see what's inside the box, discuss what was inside of the box, I should say. So what I do is I keep everything in the box that it came in so that it's easier to take it out and talk about it. So this month's box was this really pretty gradient throw pillow, toss cushion, in 2 different colorways. You could either get the purple or the blue, and then they told you right away what colorway you got, and I got the purple. And then these are the back. You have like a bonus pattern or an alternate pattern, this little gypsy little gripper, and some thread. So everybody got this in their box. And then the add-on Notion was a pair of duckbill applique scissors. So, yep, this is the pattern for the main project. Right on the back, it breaks it all down for you. And then this is the bonus pattern. I'm going to talk about this a bit in detail in part 4. And then what I have left in the box. So I have quite a bit of this slightly off-white color. 2 squares, like a strip, and then this is like a decent size strip as well, so that was nice. And then I have a little bit of some of these left. So like I have a little bit of the purple, a little bit of like the lighter purple, a tiny amount of this one, and then quite a bit of this one. Because this was the center fabric, you only used it 5 times as opposed to this one, which I had to cut 10 squares out of. And then these two I cut 8 squares out of. Here are the scissors. I didn't use them, so I don't have anything to say about them. They might come in handy for the bonus project, so I'll talk about that when I get to there. The little gripper, I completely forgot about this, so I have nothing to report on. If I use it in the future, I will get back to you about it. And then this was the thread that came in the box. It matches the white, the off-white perfectly, but since I had so much white thread from previous projects and I don't have any unused bobbins right now, I just decided to stitch with the white, and I don't think you can even really tell. So that's what was in the box. And now I will talk about the pattern. Or not the pattern, putting it together. We'll lay these out so you have some sort of pretty background. Not that it matters, but hey. There. Something to look at while I talk. I guess I could have been talking while I was laying those out. Anyway. Putting the project together. So the first thing I had to do was first thing I did was I ironed everything, right? Laid it out, made a nice Instagram post. The second thing I did is I had to cut it all out. And there was a lot of cutting. So I had to cut 5 of one color. I had to cut 5 of this deep purple, 8 of these two, like the lightest purple and the second darkest purple, and 10 of the medium purple, we'll say. So what's that? 15 and 8 make 23. Plus, sorry. Let's try this again. 8 and 8, right, is 16, plus 10 is 26, plus 5 is 31, plus 10 of the white fabric makes 41, plus 2 large pieces makes 43. So I had to cut out 41 squares and then 2 back panels. That took fairly long. From there it was pretty simple. So you had them, or they had you lay out your squares in the pattern that you were wanting. And then what I did is I labeled them like I labeled August's project. So for every square, or for every row, I went like the first row, which was just like a white square, was like 1, and then my second row, which was like white, light pink and medium pink, I did like 2A, 2B, 2C, and then the next row was 3A, 3B, 3C, blah blah blah, on and on and on, so that I knew what order to sew my colors into, and it made it easier. Then from there, I laid the pattern back out again, made sure all the colors were aligned correctly, and I sewed it all together. From there, they had us cut it down to one giant square, which took so long. I don't know if it was because I was tired and not thinking clearly, or if there was like an easier way to do it, or what. But it took me a long time to square it off. So what I would recommend is making a square larger than the 17.5 inches that they want you to cut it down to. Like squaring it off down, or laying out your back pieces to like the 17.5 by 17.5 and using that as your outline to trace out your front, and that might be quicker. Because what I did is I found the very center of the pattern and then measured 8 3/4 inches out on one side, 8 3/4 inches out on the next side, 8 3, right? On all 4 sides. And then I drew lines to intersect. And even when I did that, it still wasn't perfect. I still had some trimming to do in the end. So, yeah. That could have been a bit more clear. From cutting your front piece out, then they had you line up your back pieces. They had you create a hem, right? Where your pillows pieces will... They had you create a hem where your back panels overlapped and made like the flap to put your pillow into. They had you sew those first and then line those up with your front, sew it together, and then do a zigzag stitch or serge it around the outside. And then after I sewed it together, I ended up cutting off some excess fabric too, just because I had excess and it was annoying. So then I zigzagged it, flipped it over, pushed out the corners and stuffed a pillow inside of it. So once you get past the initial cutting, the rest of the project went by pretty quickly, especially if you could figure out how to square off your square fairly easily. I hope that made sense. I'm talking about this through memory and trying to remember what pictures I took of the project, so we'll see. So now, I'm guessing for the moment you've all been waiting for, the project. All right, so my camera is not picking up fully on it. So like as usual, I'll insert a couple of photos of the finished project for you. This is it with a pillow stuffed inside. Here's the top. Here's the back. Here's my hair. I just shoved a random pillow in. I think it's about the right size, but I didn't actually measure what the pillow size was. So this is it stuffed. All right, it looks pretty nice stuffed. And now I'll pull it out and you can see it flat. So here we go. Here's it flattened out. I think it looks really pretty. Yeah, so here's the top. Here's the back side. So, yeah, here's the pillow, or the pillow cover, whatever. I think I squared it off pretty nicely. You can see a little bit of pen here that should come out in the wash. I'm not sure why it hasn't faded yet. Yeah. So let's get into pros, cons, and user error. Pros. It's beautiful. I really like the way the colors work. I really like the way the purples work together. I love the shimmery gold in it. Yeah, I think it looks really, really nice. I'm really happy that I got this color colorway. The downside is I don't have a lot of purple in my house. I have a lot of turquoise and rose gold. I'm a little obsessed with rose gold. But it'll find a home somewhere. I'll make it find a home. I think it's just so nice. Another pro, right? I learned how to make like a cushion kind of like this. I'm really getting more used to making pieced together fabric like this, which is cool. Like I think that this is a bit better than my August project. I like how much cleaner it is, for sure. Yeah, so, and I like how simple the pattern was, like to follow. Cons. I think that they should have told you how to square it better, or made it a little bit easier to square it off. I also wish they'd cut the squares out for me, but that's just me not enjoying the cutting process. Yeah, user error. There's some of these squares are not sewn as nicely. They don't match up as well as they could. I actually think I cut this middle fabric here a little bit larger than the rest, and it kind of threw the rest of the pattern off. Like you can see here, this doesn't join very well. Here, it doesn't overlap very well. But I did, right here, right? That's because this pushed it out. Like if you look down here, this is perfect, this is perfect, this is getting a bit different, right? Like that's a perfect, that's not, and then it kind of pushes further back. Yeah, and I think it's because these squares just are cut slightly too large, and it kind of threw everything else off. So that's a user error. The other thing too is squaring it off. I didn't do as great a job, and I had to do a second seam on the interior of this side just so that this wouldn't pull apart the seam. And there's already some, like there's still a few little gaps in here, so it's not quite 17 inches. I think it's like just a little under 17 inches. Like I'll show you on the interior. Like you can see, like here I had to sew it closed again. Did I just do like that? I thought one of these sides I did a whole row. Way to be organized. No, okay, so I just did like sections that needed to be fixed. It's minor. I can always hand stitch it if it starts to come apart. So that's, I guess, pros, cons, and user error. Would I make this again? Yes. Yes, I would. Well, when I talk about the bonus project, I'll kind of make it make a bit more sense, but yeah, I really like it. I really like this pattern. Difficulty-wise, I would say it's middling. The construction was easy, but the cutting and piecing of all of this was a bit time-consuming, and really required me to remember to focus, or to required me to focus on what I was doing. The other thing too is that they recommended nesting these. So basically, if you look, or I guess here I'll just flip it back inside out. All right, so if you look, I have all of this seams, or this seam allowance pointing up, right? And then for my next row, I have them all running down when I iron them flat. And then this one, all of them are pointing back up. And then these are all pointing down. And what it did was created a smoother and less bulky seam for when I sewed the pieces together. Then I sewed them all, and then when it was all done, I ironed them all to face one direction, except for this one. This one's facing the opposite way. I'm not sure why. But yeah, so yeah, when I ironed the different strips, I made sure to make one row of seams point up, and then the next row point down, and then this row, all of these point up, and then all of these seam allowances point down, and so on and so forth. And it made for a more cohesive look, an easier pillow, really. So normally I talk about like how my cousin managed to do hers, how she got hers done, but she hasn't had the time to make it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her thoughts in the description box below when she does make it, and also discuss her opinion on this project a little bit in my bonus project video, which I'm hoping to get up next week. So speaking of bonus projects, let's talk about the bonus, or the alternative pattern. So this is the alternative pattern for this month. It's really cool. It's like this interwoven kind of knot look. They call it the diamond patchwork pillowcase. So if you didn't like the gradient, you had enough fabric to cut this out instead. I liked the gradient, and I also like doing the projects in the box so that I can review them for this channel. But I really liked this pattern. So at first I had hoped that maybe they had included enough material to make both, right? But no, there's no way, there's no chance. So I went to Joann Fabrics. I used a 40% off coupon, and I picked up a swatch, or a fat quarter bundle, or whatever they're called, for $8, and I used that instead. These are the colors for you up on the screen. I went with turquoises because it's one of my favorite colors. Yeah, so I was going to try to get this project done for you for this video, but it didn't happen. Mainly because this was a lot of cutting. So much cutting. So it requires 5 fabrics, right, which I had. And then if you look at here, it requires 12 of fabric A, 12 of fabric D, which makes 24 pieces, right? 8 of fabric B, 8 of fabric C, so 24 and 16 make 40 pieces. And then fabric E, you have 24 squares. So now we're at 64, plus 10 more pieces makes 74. I had to cut out 74 pieces of fabric for this project. It took me hours to do. I had all of the fabric folded over and stuff, and I will say that the initial cuts weren't that hard, but this 24 pieces of fabric E, like this fabric E, gave me such a hard time. I went into my sewing stash downstairs in the basement, and I cut it, like, and I found just a simple white cloth, and I or like a white broadcloth cotton kind of thing, and I cut them all out. So they're all cut out. All of the pieces are cut out. Here are the 24 square, right? 24 of this size, 8 of this size, all of these, right? I have 4 of these, right? So I have all of this cut out. And then I didn't have quite enough of the white scrap without like cutting into like a beautiful like square. So I decided I was going to use the 5th fabric that I had left over from the fat quarters, and it wasn't quite the right amount of stuff. And because I was really tired when I was cutting it, I butchered it so badly. So what I ended up having to do, I'll tell you this now and then I'll show you kind of how it looks when it's put together, is I cut out one panel this size, and then I cut out 2 white panels like this, and then I cut out 2 of the coordinating fabric like this. And with doing a bunch of late night math, I was able to come up with the right size to make the 2 back panels like this. And I did all of this because I did not want to cut into the white, because I was stupid tired and should have stopped cutting, but I didn't. So long story short, I have the pieces cut out for this bonus project, or alternative pattern, but I do not have them made. I do hope to get them made this weekend or maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but yeah, it was a lot of work, a lot of cutting. So my big suggestion to you is that if you are on the fence about these, this one requires a lot less work, and this one has an online tutorial for you to watch, so it makes sense. This one, the instructions seem to be clear. I've been reading them over, but it seems like it's going to be a lot more work to put them together too, which I will talk about in my bonus project review video, hopefully going up next Wednesday. I plan on doing this and the makeup bag from last month. So that was longer than it was supposed to be, but that is what you get when you click on one of my videos. All right, final thoughts and wrap up. I like this project. I have made a cushion cover before, without a pattern. Actually, I'll just go get it. It's in the living room. Okay. It was not in the living room. It was upstairs. Anyway, so I made this, which is almost the same size. It's a little dirty or spotty. It's fraying a little bit on the side. But that's because I was trying something. So here's the top, and here's the back. All right. So, the construction on these two are actually fairly simple, like similar. I put the buttons in to keep it from gapping. And I think it's just one giant piece of fabric that I folded over. Yeah, it is. But, so I made this out of my head, and this out of a pattern, but I think they turned out pretty much kind of the same. Not like the same look or anything, but the back. What I'm getting at, I guess, is that I think if I made this project again, I would add buttons on the back to keep it from like a gaping open a little bit. And I just wanted to show you that I made something before, like a similar project before, and it turned out okay too. Yeah, I don't know. Where was I? Final thoughts. So yeah, I like this pattern. I like this fabric a lot, and I really love the gold and the purple. It's a beautiful color combination. I kind of wish that this would have been a different color, but it's so small, it's hardly noticeable. I guess if I'd wanted to, I could have used the leftover fabric of this to cut them out maybe. But whatever, it looks nice. It looks complete. And yeah, I don't know, I'm running out of steam. Okay, so that was final thoughts. I liked it. If I do end up using the embossing scissors, which I'll probably use on the bonus project, which is what I meant to say before, or the alternative pattern, I should say. The alternative pattern requires like some cutting and then, or some sewing and then some cutting apart of pieces and things. And I feel like those scissors would do well for that. So I might try them out on that and let you know in that video if I remember to use them. And if I remember to use the little gripper, I will update you on that in one of my future sewing videos. Yeah. So now I guess it's the conclusion stuff. So I mentioned this before in my other review video, and I'll mention it here again. I did it on my unboxing because I completely forgot. But for everybody who's a member of Sewers Club, they get a $5 referral coupon, a referral code. It's not exclusive to people who post videos or anything like that. It's for everybody. Anybody who has anybody who has a subscription to Sewers Club gets a referral code. So if you are thinking of picking up or trying out Sewers Club and you want to save yourself $5, feel free to message me on Instagram or on Instagram at thingsfredmakes or at my YouTube Gmail account thing, which is fredmakesthings@gmail.com. You get $5 off. I get a $5 credit for their store, which is always nice. But like I said, it's not anything to do with having a YouTube channel or posting anything about them. It's something everybody gets, right? Kind of like if you did like HelloFresh or another kind of subscription service, you usually get some sort of referral code to send free boxes or save some money or whatever. Yeah. Other than that, what did you think of this box? Do you get Sewers Club? Were you excited about this project? Did you get the blue one or the purple one? If you don't have Sewers Club, does this make you more interested in doing so? If you're on the fence about Sewers Club, I do have a playlist that I'll post at the end of the video where you can see all of the projects for this year going back to January. I keep talking about doing a general review of the Sewers Club. What I think I'm going to do is keep that until December, and I'll do a year in review of Sewers Club or something like that. To be honest, I do not have the time right now to create a video like that. If you saw my updated house tour from Wednesday, I gave a bit of a life update in there, and basically it boils down to three things. It took longer for me to get settled into this new house, so I still don't have any projects pre-filmed for the next couple of months, which I usually do. 2, my in-laws are coming for 3 weeks in October, and I am not set up or prepared for them, so I need to get organized on that. And I said boils down to 3 things, but I cannot remember the third thing right now. Oh, the third thing, I guess, which I didn't say yesterday, is that last December I did 25 videos, right? I did a whole that December upload thing that people do. I'm going to do it again this year. I haven't decided what's going to go up in that month yet because, like I said, I don't have anything planned, and I usually have everything planned. I don't even know what's coming up on the channel next week. So stay tuned for all of that fun stuff. And now, again, I'm going to stop babbling. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I do Sewers Club unboxings and project reviews. I do Cat Lady box unboxings. I'm going to start doing another unboxing, craft kit unboxing kind of stuff soon. I just don't know which one I'm going to do, and like I said in my previous statements, I'm going to be busy for the next month or so. So I'm not going to start anything new just yet. But I do mainly time lapses of like paint by numbers and diamond stickers. That's not a thing. Diamond painting, or paint with diamonds, or whatever you want to call them, where you take little pieces of plastic and stick them to another piece of plastic in a pretty design. I'm doing more embroidery stuff. I'm doing, I have a Lego, I have like part 3 of my Lego Bad Guys art thing. I don't know, I did videos in February about them and nobody cared. I did sticker unicorns. I have a bunch of stuff I can do, and I'm planning on doing. I just don't know what I'm going to do next. And I'm babbling, and I need to stop because I'm tired and I need to go make supper. Alright, anyway, thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it to this very end rambling chat that I'm having with myself and with you if you're here. Thank you so much. Like I said, subscribe if you want to see more videos of me either rambling or watching me make something to nice music. Like the video if you've made it this far. I can't imagine anybody has, but like the video if you liked it and you want to see more project reviews. I don't know. Comment. Let me know if you think I've lost my mind like I have. Oh gosh, I have to go. Okay, I'm leaving. Okay, goodbye. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.